It's new bike day. Kind of, but not really. So I bought this a couple weeks ago. I've had it for several weeks. It's kind of a weird process. Lots has happened since then. So I figured I'll talk about the new bike and we'll talk about what's going on, because there's some stuff going on, which is, yeah, let's just talk about it. So what we got here, this is an Orbea Avant H40 in orange. Love it. It's a couple years old, brand new. It hasn't been ridden, but the model itself is a couple years old. Bought it from West Chester Cyclery here down in Cincinnati. Fantastic little place if you guys are looking for some accessories, some bikes and stuff. I love this place. The guys there are great. I was looking for a bike that was not your traditional run-of-the-mill brands that you find around here. Your Specialized, your Giants, your Treks. I've had them. There's nothing wrong with them, but I wanted something that was a little bit more unique. And West Chester carries Marin, they carry Felt, and they carry Orbea. So I went with Orbea. I test rode a couple of Felts. They felt really good. But truth of the matter is, what happens is because here's the way I'm built, short legs, long torso, my foot would overlap the wheel as I was turning and stuff on the Felt. Because the head tube here is slightly more slack, I didn't have as much of an issue while riding. So it just fit better. That was really kind of the driver behind it. So I thought while we're kind of talking about what's going on, I've got some parts and stuff that I want to install, some bottle cages, some pedals. Put these on as temporary pedals. These are Crank Brothers, Race Face Chesters. We're going to replace them with some Shimano Ultegras, and going to do some bottle cages and things like that. So while we're doing that, I'll kind of talk about what's going on, because we got some stuff going on with me. So I bought this. Let me get some stuff while I'm chatting. So I bought this back in July, and I was actually getting some tests done on my heart. Those tests did not go very well, and it looks like I'm going to be needing some surgery coming up in the near future. So I haven't been riding as much as I'd like to because of that. I am not restricted in any way. However, just at an abundance of caution, I decided to kind of take it easy just a little bit. And also while I'm mentally processing things to, kind of figure out what's going on and what's happening next. So I've done a lot of riding in my life, mostly BMX and mostly mountain biking. But I'm in my 40s now, and careening down the side of a mountain at Mach 5, falling and breaking my collarbone, quite honestly, don't really want to do that. So decided to get into some road cycling. Thought it might be a little bit safer. As I say that, I'm putting on clipless pedals, and I haven't ridden clipless pedals in probably 25 years. But I put these Race Face Chesters on in the beginning just to kind of feel out the bike. I've never ridden a road bike before. So getting used to the shifting, getting used to the thin tires was interesting. So I'm comfortable enough now where I'm going to put the tires on, the clipless pedals on, and experience my first fall, because I haven't done that yet. Let me grab an Allen key here. So, of course, it's the one I dropped on the ground. Ooh. So, went with Orbea, like I said, because it was different. You don't see a lot of those around here. And just wanted to be a little bit different. And the other thing is I was looking for something that was I'm gonna go on the other side so I can actually look at the camera. I was looking for something that was not gray. I buy a lot of things in gray. And this was orange, which is not gray. So this is an aluminum frame, it's an alloy frame. I honestly don't need carbon. In case you can't tell, I'm not exactly a svelte individual. So buying carbon to save weight doesn't really make sense because I negate all of that. Decided to go with some side mount bottle cages. Never had these before. I always had the old school like metal ones that should. But these do come in different sizes. I am right-handed, so I have a left and a right. So if you mount this one this way, I'd have to grab it with my left hand. So I got this one to mount over here, so I can still grab it with my right hand. And then this one's going to mount over here. So this is a left? No, that's a right, and this is a left. So that way I can get the bottles in the way I want. So just a little note about that you can do that way you don't have to. I've seen people online who don't know that that they're a different size for those side mount cages. So you can do that. So anyway, that's what I went with Orbea. It's got Tiagra. It's got, Tetro? These are Tetro mechanical disc brakes. I'll be honest, not a fan of them. Stopping power isn't great. That being said, this is my first bike with disc brakes. Never ridden disc brakes before. Never experienced hydraulic brakes either, which I'm sure is a big difference. So, here. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the stopping power of these. Let me get these screws out of my hand so I don't have to worry about dropping them. But for now, they're fine. I will look into replacing them at some point, I'm sure. But for now, they're doing fine. It was interesting getting into cycling on the road. Coming from full suspension, I've got a Klein Mantra Pro back there. That's what was the last bike I bought. I bought it used. But when you have a full suspension bike, a lot of the strength that you put into pedaling gets absorbed by the shock. It's really hard to do with big hands. So going to a much stiffer bike when pedaling the first time, it was like driving a high performance car and hitting the gas for the first time and not knowing what to expect. It was just like the amount of effort that I needed to get going was so much less than what I was used to. It was really, really interesting. I might switch over to my Jeep toolkit for this. I think it might work a little bit better. Let me see if I can find some other tools. Hang on, I'll be right back. Let's see how this does. This is my Jeep ratchet that comes with your Jeep. Wondering if I can get in there a little bit easier and tighten this guy up. So what was I saying? Oh, so it was just super interesting coming in to the cycling and realizing that, all the power that I put down, not that I'm putting down a lot of power because I'm out of shape, but just feeling the response of the bike, to the power that I was putting down was really eye-opening, and just riding like the first day, it was so much easier. I did my longest ride the very first day, which I didn't anticipate doing at all. But I just, actually even that I was the biggest climb I've ever done. I mean, not a massive climb by any stretch, but I remember going down this one hill in my neighborhood that I've never been down before, and I got about halfway down this hill, kind of coasting along, and I remember thinking to myself, what am I getting into? This is going to be a nightmare to get out, and I slapped it down in the lowest gear and just kind of slugged along and got right back out of it. I don't have a computer, so I don't know what the incline was. But yeah, so I've really been enjoying riding it. Like I said, I haven't been riding it a lot because of what's going on. So let's talk about what's going on. So I was born with ventricular septal defect, which is, for all intents and purposes, a hole in my heart. You can go through and do more in-depth if you really want, but when I was 4 years old, I had open heart surgery to repair the hole in my heart. And it went well. From what I understand, a few of the stitches let go that were put in, but nothing serious. However, with the way my heart works and kind of predisposed to heart disease, I developed an aneurysm in my aorta, and that is becoming concerning to my doctors. So the other issue is that my left ventricle seems to be overcompressing. That already I am a candidate for surgery. The threshold for surgery is anything more than 65%. I'm at 66%. So already we're looking at surgery. The other thing that that's concerning them is this aneurysm in my aorta. Give me 1 second, let me get another tool. So this aneurysm is the other thing that's concerning. The threshold for surgery is 5 centimeters. I'm at 4.8. And I have gone from 4 to 4.8 in 2 years. So there's a couple procedures that will likely happen. One of them being the surgery. What we're trying to figure out now is the type of surgery that I need. So I have what's called a TAVR CT on August 27th. And that TAVR CT will determine whether I'm a candidate for the TAVR CT procedure, which is essentially a repair of the aortic valve, in fact a replacement of the aortic valve. They go up through the groin, up into my heart, and then with a catheter they stick in a replacement valve inside of the aorta. And because the aorta is enlarged, it is going to fit inside. The neat thing about this surgery is that it does not require stopping of the heart. It is not open heart surgery. So it's certainly less invasive, faster recovery time. I think I'm only in the hospital for a day, maybe 2 tops. However, if that doesn't work, we're talking about full-on open heart surgery. So let me grab another tool again while we're still chatting. So we're looking at a potential major surgery coming up. Let me grab some grease. So August 27th is that CT scan, which will determine whether I'm a candidate for that surgery. And then on the 2nd of September, I have what's called a transesophageal echocardiogram. So I get echocardiograms rather frequently. I've had a lot of them in my life. And echocardiogram is essentially a sonogram of your heart. So just like you go to the doctor and when you're pregnant, you look at your little kiddo through the sonogram, you do the same thing with the same tools, except they look at your heart. A transesophageal echocardiogram goes through the mouth, down the throat, down the esophagus, hence transesophageal echocardiogram. So that procedure is going to happen, I'm sure I put the right pen on, September 2nd. And then after that, I see a cardiac thoracic surgeon on September 4th to discuss the results of that CT TAVR and the echocardiogram. So, to be honest, with all that running through my head, haven't really been interested in riding all that much. I am cleared for activity as long as it doesn't hurt. So if I feel any chest pain, it's gotta stop. Which, quite honestly, it's kind of a good rule no matter what. So, I have not ridden this a tremendous amount because of that, and also because, well, I'm fat and out of shape. So, riding a lot is not easy. Neat trick about pedals, if you're ever installing pedals, if you're taking pedals off, you want to brake them towards the rear wheel, so you put your tool towards the back and brake this way. If you're tightening, towards the front of the bike, because one of these pedals is reverse threaded. But if you remember that, you don't have to remember which one is which. You just go back to remove and front to tighten. So yeah, that's what's going on. Not greatest news in the world. Not the worst news in the world. Could be a little worse, I'm sure. So wrench on this one a little bit more, make sure we're okay. Come on, killer. You can get in there. There we go. All right. So with that being said, I don't know if there's much more to chat about. Orbea, Avant, H40, heart, needs work on. Yeah, I'm going to call it a video right there. Thanks so much for watching. If you're inclined to like and share and subscribe and do all that sort of stuff, that'd be cool. You can follow along and document some of this heart stuff as I go along, because quite honestly, as I'm going through all of it, trying to figure out what's going on, there's a lot of information that's lacking, and if I can help someone that's going through something similar by providing my experience and what to look for, that sort of stuff, I think that'd be kind of cool. So anyway, we got more videos coming up. If you're new to the channel, which most of you probably are at this point, it's gonna be stuff like this, doing some repair on bikes, maybe some riding stuff. I'm actually in the process of making another video at the moment, which is just to my left over here, making a bike rack for the inside of my Jeep to hold this as I go out and ride in other places other than my house. Got some music stuff coming. it's just be kind of a hodgepodge of all my ridiculous hobbies and stuff. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to call it a video, get back to the other project. And now that we got this all situated, we'll go out for a little ride later. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks so much for watching.